What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it's no secret that right now the biggest story in the NHL, it's not the Eastern Conference or Western Conference wildcard race. It's not the upcoming Stanley Cup playoffs. It is Alexander Ovechkin's chase of the all-time goal record. Last night it was looking like he might potentially get it. Ended up tying Wayne Gretzky at home, 894. And now on Sunday, he's heading to Long Island. I'll be in the building for that one to potentially break it. And I thought a cool way to honor Ovechkin in terms of like making some kind of list, making some kind of video, would be looking at the top 10 greatest goal scorers of all time, as well as the top 10 active current best goal scorers in the NHL. With Ovechkin, he's already been my GOAT in terms of goal scoring. Didn't really take like a record. I think he got it a couple years ago. But yeah, we're going to go through it now, the two different top 10 lists. Let's not waste any time. Let's respect Alexander Ovechkin. Up first, the greatest of all time. I am not just going based on who has the most career goals. This is going to be based on how many times did they lead the league in goals, or how many elite goal scoring seasons did they have, the consistency throughout their career. What was their 3 to 5 year goal scoring peak? Some guys maybe have that 3-year stretch, like a guy that we're going to talk about for sure, but maybe doesn't have the consistency. What was your longevity into the 30s? Did you dominate in your 20s, but then kind of teeter off? And what are your total goal numbers? Again, that honestly might mean the least when like all of these guys have like over 500 career goals. But yeah, I think just because you score the most goals might not make you. This is more so like pure goal scorers. I know that that's kind of like a tough phrase, but I'm looking at more so like shot than speed when looking at a breakaway goals. Not that they mean less than like just a snipe, but I'm looking at more so pure goal scorers. Not saying that I'm going to be snubbing egregious guys, but yeah, let's get into it. And again, with this era dominance, that's what I focus on. I understand if you teleport Maurice Richard to the 2025 and threw him in the modern equipment, he'd suck. But also, he grew up in the 30s and 40s when the training, diet, everything was different. I hate when people say that Wayne Gretzky would be a third liner in today's game. If Wayne Gretzky was born in 1995, he'd be a top 3 player in the NHL, maybe even the best still. So yeah, let's get into it. I just hate when people mention that. Yeah, greatest of all time. Up first, no shit, it's Alexander Ovechkin. In my opinion, he probably became the GOAT after he still won the Rocket Richard in that 2019-2020 season. He had guys like Pastrnak. He did co-share with Pastrnak, but Austin Matthews, the next generation. But Ovechkin at 34 years old still won the goddamn thing to make it his 7th Rocket Richard in 8 years. He obviously has the most in NHL history. At 9, in terms of the peak, 65 goal season, and just his peak was 7 Rocket Richards in 8 years, as well as 13 seasons hitting 50 or being at 50 goal pace. He was in a lower scoring era compared to Wayne Gretzky and is still going to break his record. Yeah, it's just crazy what he's done. He checks off every single box of being the consensus GOAT, considering he has the record, is going to have the record very shortly, has the most Rocket Richards, definitely has the peak, or at least the top 5 peak, and he's had the best longevity, even at, well, the stat that I pulled was in his first season, he had 52 goals. This year, if he played every single game, his 82 game pace is 56 goal pace. There's only been like, I think, 2 or 3 seasons where he was below 40 goal pace. It's just absolutely insane what this guy has done. And it shouldn't take the record for people to realize that he's the greatest goal scorer of all time, especially when you look at era adjusted goals. He's been that for the past couple years, considering how crazy he's been. We got a real debate. It starts at number 2. The list starts at number 2. It's clearly Ovechkin right now. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I am going with Mike Bossy. When looking at him, if he never got hurt, he's probably finishing with like 900, 950. I know that you can't play the hypothetical game, but in terms of the greatest of all time, I'm putting Mike Bossy here, 573 goals in 752 games. He put at around 62 goal pace, and he was in a higher goal scoring era than some other guys that we're going to talk about. But yeah, in terms of, again, pure goal scoring, the number one thing that this guy did was scoring goals, and he had multiple high 60 goal seasons, beat out Gretzky at times for the Rocket Richard, and only played between the ages of 21 to 30, and he still ended up with 573 goals. Like, that is crazy, in my opinion. Maybe the best pure goal scorer of all time. I'm not trying to say he's a better goal scorer overall than a guy like Ovechkin, but Mike Bossy, rightfully so, deserves your respect. And even when he retired, he was not satisfied with his level of play because of his back injury. He still had 38 goals in 63 games in that season. So it really sucks that we didn't get to see the full Mike Bossy career, because he would be. Ovechkin might not be the consensus goal GOAT right now if Mike Bossy never gets hurt. Speaking of which, hurt and medical issues. At number 3, I got Mario Lemieux. Much like Mike Bossy, he'd probably have the record right now if he continued to play, considering he finished with 690 goals in 915 games. His best 3-year stretch was 209 goals in 216 games. That is just nuts. He was the perfect blend of speed, size, and a damn good shot. He had 69 goals in 60 games one season. Even when he's 35 years old, he still put up 35 goals in 43 games one season. Just a dominant force, maybe the most talented player of all time. I'm not the guy that says that like he's the GOAT over Wayne Gretzky, but in terms of pure talent, he's definitely up there with the best. In my opinion, was more of a goal scorer than a guy like Wayne Gretzky. Although Wayne Gretzky has the record right now, or tied for the record, I still think Mario Lemieux was the better overall goal scorer, if that makes sense. At number 4, I got Maurice Rocket Richard, the OG goal scorer, 5-time goal leader, scored over 544 goals in his career back when you only played 70 games in a season and the league-wide scoring was way lower than even it is right now. So yeah, the guy was a beast. The gold trophy is literally named after him. You got to respect him as a result, and I have him at number 4. At number 5, Phil Esposito, the best goal scorer of the 1970s, no doubt, led the NHL in goals 6 straight years. And I feel like historically he kind of gets underrated because he played with Bobby Orr. They were very much a 1A, 1B, and they flipped in seasons. Phil Esposito, I think, won like 2 or 3 Hart trophies, and obviously the 7 total Rocket Richards, or the Rocket Richard didn't exist back then, but led the league in goals. An elite goal scorer until the end, even in his last couple seasons, was scoring like 35 to 40 goals well into his 30s. So yeah, I got Phil Esposito checking in at number 5. At number 6, Bobby Hull. Bad guy off the ice. Very, very bad guy. But on the ice, he could score goals. I don't like to honor a guy like him, but objectively, he deserves to be in the top 10. 7-time goal-scoring leader in the 60s, and was still scoring like 50 goals a game until he left the NHL. His last season, he had 50 goals in at age 33. If he stayed in the NHL, similar to guys like Mike Bossy, and he left the NHL, but if he stayed in the NHL and finished out his full career, he would probably be in like the mid 800s, 7-time goal leader, rightfully so on this list. At number 7, this is where Wayne Gretzky checks in. Some people might be saying he's top 3. His prime is obviously nuts. It's the best goal-scoring prime in the NHL. He went 92 goals in 71, then 87, then 73. I just think that he was just so far and away the best player overall in the NHL. When you think about Wayne Gretzky, I don't think that you really think about the goal scoring. You think about the playmaking and the high IQ from his offseason. When you look at after that stretch, he only has 3 more seasons above 41 goals. And towards the end of his career, his final 7 seasons, he put up 24 goal pace. So when you look at the longevity of a goal scorer compared to some of these other guys, it's really not there. Again, he was a playmaker, amazing passer. He could score goals like the best of it, but it was more so like breakaways or stuff like that, not like sniping. I know he played in the 80s, so no one was really full on sniping. But yeah, Wayne Gretzky, still an all-time goal scorer, but in my opinion, definitely not top 3. You could slot him somewhere between 4 through 7, and I would definitely understand where you're coming from. Just again, when you look at in the 90s, he just really wasn't that elite of a goal scorer. That's just the honest truth of it. Still, definitely deserves a spot on this list. To number 8, Gordie Howe, kind of like Wayne Gretzky, not solely known as a goal scorer, played forever, and as a result, got that goal record for as long as he had it until Gretzky passed it. But yeah, he still led the NHL in goals 5 different times. At age 40, he was still scoring like 40 goals. Great goal scorer in his own right, checks in at number 8. At number 9, I'm going with Brett Hull. When you talk about a guy that had that 3-year peak, he scored 72 goals, then 86 goals, then 70 goals. It was nuts. He was around a goal per game player. Just outside of that, did not really have the consistency. Solid longevity, but not as quite as impressive as some other guys. Finished with 741 goals in 1,269 games. The last spot, the 10 spot, you can put like 8 different guys in here. I think it really falls off after that top 9. These guys are still crazy. I ended up going with Teemu Selanne. That rookie year is the greatest, not only the greatest rookie season of all time, it's the greatest goal-scoring rookie season. I think that will never be topped in terms of 76 goals. He won 2 other Rocket Richards in the middle of the dead puck era. At 36 years old, he still scored 48 goals and won the Stanley Cup as the best player on that forward core for the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, he was maybe not consistent year over year, but he did have very good longevity on top top of one of the best goal scoring peaks. It doesn't pop off on the hockey reference page, but that's because his peak was between like 1997 to 2003, where goal scoring was down across the NHL. In terms of honorable mentions for all-time great goal scorers, Pavel Bure, 3-time Rocket Richard winner, just didn't quite have that longevity because he had injuries that shortened his career. Marcel Dion, Jerome McGinley, Luc Robitaille, and I think you can somewhat make an argument for Austin Matthews, 69 goal season, 2 other seasons at over 60 goal pace. But yeah, right now he doesn't really have a full case to be ahead of a guy like Teemu Selanne. Moving on to the top 10 current goal scorers in the NHL. This season is definitely going to mean the most, but I'm still going with Austin Matthews at first. I think Austin Matthews is still the best goal scorer in the NHL when you look at what he's done the last 5 seasons, 3 seasons at 60 goal pace or above. Even his 2 down years are still 40 goals in 74 games in 2023 and 29 goals in 60 seasons this year while battling with injuries. Still the best goal scorer until I see a guy that we're going to talk about next in Leon Draisaitl score more goals next season when Austin Matthews is fully healthy. He's number 1. Draisaitl, I think, is a pretty clear number 2. Before this season, was a consistent around 50-ish goal guy. This season, if he didn't get hurt, would have had a decent chance at getting 60 goals. And he's a power play menace. He's one of the best power play goal scorers we've ever seen. Maybe the second greatest we've ever seen behind Alexander Ovechkin. The last 6 seasons, he's been top 2 every single year. Number 3, it starts to get interesting. I'm going to go with David Pastrnak. His goal numbers have gone down in recent years. That's obviously because the Boston Bruins have just become a far worse team. 61 goals back in 2023. Last year, still 47. And this year, 37 in 76 games, which is honestly very impressive considering he's got Morgan Geekie as his number 1 center. Won the Rocket Richard in 2020. The resume is there. And even this year, he's still, 5 goals off second place in the NHL. So it's not like he's having some huge down year where you're going to toss him down the list to like number 8 or number 9. Number 4, I got Kirill Kaprizov, has been a 40-goal pace guy every single season in the NHL. 47 in 2022. In 2023, 40 goals in 67 games. 2024, 46 in 75. And this year had 23 in 37. So yeah, he's been a consistent around 50 goal-ish pace guy the last 4 seasons. And if he stays healthy next year, I have no doubts that he's going to be able to hit the 50-goal mark for the first time in his career. Number 5, Alexander Ovechkin, 41 goals in 60 games. And even last year, you might say, I think he only finished with like 31 goals. He scored 23 goals in his final 36. He just had a brutal start to the season where he shot like 4%. So yeah, the last 14 months, he has definitely been a top 5 goal scorer in the NHL. That is not some kind of recency bias from just this season and because of the goal record. Number 6, I'm going with Connor McDavid. I know that the last 2 years have not been close to a top 10 guy, but when he decides that he wants to score goals, we saw it in 2023. He put up 64 goals and won the Rocket Richard. So no other guy behind him has that potential to go for 60 goals. So I think it is pretty valid to still have him at number 6. Number 7, William Nylander, a sneaky 3rd straight 40-goal season. This year, 42 goals. Might end up around like 45, 46. So yeah, he's got the track record, has a very good wrist shot, silky in transition, can just surprise the goalie and rip it. He checks in at number 7. Number 8, Tage Thompson, 38 goals in 2022, 47 in 2023. Last year had a down year, but it was still 29 goals in 71 games, just shot 11%. He's all the way back. He's 39 goals in 68 games, 4th in the NHL on a pretty shit Buffalo Sabres team. Yeah, 6'6", the way that he can release the puck, definitely deserves to be on a top 10 goal scorers list. Number 9, we got Kyle Connor. When looking at him, 30-goal pace guy since he walked into the NHL, and in the last 2 years has 72 goals in 141 games. Good for 42-goal pace. Makes sense right there. Number 10, again, a lot of guys you can put, like, honestly, Connor Gensel could be interchangeable with some guys. I went with Jake Gensel at number 10. Yeah, you could just pencil him in for a 40-goal season basically every single year. Does some guys in the honorable mention have a higher potential to get to like 45, maybe even 50 goals? Definitely possible. But what Jake Gensel has done the last 5 to 6 years, every single year, I think rightfully so, he deserves a spot at number 10. The honorable mentions, Braden Point, monster goal numbers the last couple years. Jason Robertson has really been alive of late, and in 2023 had 46 goals. Brandon Hagel this year is like 3rd or 4th in the NHL in even strength goals. Cole Caulfield has really broken out. Sam Reinhart had 57 last year, but has kind of gone down, and he did shoot 25% last year. But you can definitely still make an argument for him. Here's the final. Here's the all-time Ovechkin, Bossy, Lemieux, Richard, Esposito, Hole, Gretzky, Howe, Hole, Solane. And here's the current: Austin Matthews, Draisaitl, Pasternak, Kaprizov, Ovechkin, McDavid, Nylander, Thompson, Connor, and Gensel. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Hopefully he breaks it tomorrow on Long Island, because I'm going to be there and maybe have a vlog for you guys. But yeah, I'll be seeing the next one. What do you think about this list? Who'd you move up? Who'd you move down? Peace.